Hi, good evening. And this evening I'm going to do a demo on the FoodSense Generation 4, but I'm going to show you how the FoodSense Generation 4 can actually guide you into using the right dilution. So with the FoodSense Generation 4, it is, or at least one of its modes is for measuring the hotness of chili and chili products. But of course, you could say, well, I don't know the Scoville Heat Unit of this particular chili product. It's kind of unknown to me. And that's fine. So in this case, I'm going to pretend that I completely don't know what the hotness of this product is, and I'm going to show you how the app will guide you in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a sample, and I'm going to start with the lowest dilution that's available, which is a 1 in 10 dilution. So I'm going to take 100 microliters of this chili sample. So let me take 100 microliters now. Whoops daisy. So I've got 100 microliters here, and I'm going to put it into this little tube, which I've now done. So I put 100 microliters into that. Now I'm going to get 900 microliters of the buffer. I'm just going to put this in the bin. So now I'll do 900 microliters of the chili pot buffer. As I say, we do a 1 in 10 dilution to start. So I've got some buffer here, and I will, with the pipette that I've got, I will do the, I'll do this 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. Okay, so now I've got my sample. I'll just hold it up for a second. So I've got my sample here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a quick vortex here. So I've deliberately chosen a sauce to test this evening because sauces are easier to prepare and easier to mix because everything's already kind of essentially in the liquid phase. So I've got my sample here. Now I think, I mean, I've got to, that actually this is going to be quite hot, but let me take let me take 50 microliters, I should say. So I'll take my 50 microliter pipette, and I will take 50 microliters of this sample, and I will put it onto the sensor. So I took 100 microliters of the sauce, I mixed it with 900 microliters of the buffer. So that's what we call a 1 in 10 dilution. I'll call this test 1. And I will go to assay. So now, whoops, it is, yeah, I'll choose the 1 in 10. 1 in 10, start, and off it goes. This takes about 30 seconds. So I know I said it already, but I took 0.1 microliter, sorry, 100 microliters of this. It's 0.1 milliliters, and I took 0.9 milliliters of this, or that's 900 microliters. That's basically a dilution of 1 in 10, and I vortexed it, as you saw, and then I mixed it. Right, this is the important point now. So I'm going to show you exactly what it says on this screen. So let me get my camera. It says too high, dilute more, upload complete. So too high means there's too much capsaicin in it. The 1 in 10 dilution was not enough. It says dilute more, that's my instructions. And by the way, the data uploaded. So I want to show you, now when the update, this is the really beautiful thing about the FoodSense Generation 4. You get a very nice number on your phone, but actually you can also get a result in the cloud. This is the cloud, okay? So this is the time and date. So I'm doing this on the 1st of July 2024, and I can immediately see the app, sorry, the system's actually quite smart. You see this flat line along here? That flat line along here tells me I've got a massive signal. It's actually outside of the range of the instrument. And look at, this is the capsaicin peak that we're trying to understand. It is huge, okay? So I did a 1 in 10 dilution. Don't forget, I was instructed by the app that in fact it was too concentrated. And if I want to understand what that means, I can at the same time look at the raw data and I can see a massive signal here. Whoops a daisy, I've gone to the wrong screen. I can go to the raw data, I can see a massive signal here, and I can see a super massive signal here. Right, because that's about 20 there, so that tells me that this is a big signal. Okay, so what am I going to do? All right, what I'll do is I will change screens for a second, and I will take this first sample. I'm going to vortex it now, and I'm going to take out 100 microliters, and I'm going to dilute it a bit more. So I'll just vortex it just to homogenize it. So I just vortex it very quickly. I'm going to open it up. I'll take 100 microliters, which I've just done. I'll put 100 microliters in here. Right, I'll take this pipette tip off. I'll put a clean pipette on. Pipette tip, that is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to dilute this with 900 microliters of buffer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. So now I've done essentially I've taken the 1 in 10 diluted. So this was 1 in 10 diluted. I took 100 microliters, it dissolved it with another 900 microliters. So in fact now it's a 1 in 100 diluted. This is what it looks like. Now I'll give it a vortex. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly get rid of this sensor, and I will get a clean sensor. Yeah, done. Right, and now I'm going to just put a clean pipette tip on this, and I'm going to add I'll add 50 microliters. In fact, what I'll do first is I'm just going to change the app for a second. I'll put this as test 2. Right, so now I've got test 2 in there. So I'm almost ready to go. I might go to assay. I'll tell it to 1 in 100. Right, and then I'm going to put this sample on. Start measurement. Right, and that'll take about 30 seconds. So now I'm testing the 1 in 100. So it's really important to understand that people say, well, so first of all, Zimmer and Peacock say, okay, so if it's mild, do 1 in 10. If it's hot, do 1 in 100. If it's hotter still, do 1 in 1,000. If it's hotter still, do 1 in 10,000. Now, we've obviously got a lot of test experience, so we kind of essentially, you can sort of tell by just the smell of something whether it's going to be mild, medium, hot, or extra hot, etc. But we can appreciate that when you're new to this, that that may not be the case. But I know this is hot, and now I'm going to show you exactly what it said. So this is 1 in 100, okay? And what's it said? It said capsaicin too high, dilute more, upload complete. So now the 1 in 100 is still too concentrated. But you can get a real feeling for this, because if I, what I'm going to do is I'll share my screen here. I'll do a refresh here. Test 2, that's what I labeled it up as. Look at that, right? See now that's not quite off the scale, but it's still very high. and I can see the peak here. It's not as high as it was previously, but it is lower. Previously, if you look here, I could see that that was well high. Well, I'll say well high, it's bad English, but it was up, you know, something like 25, roughly. In fact, I know what it is because I can hover my mouse over it. 23.6. Now, we've diluted it some more, and it's more like 12.7. What is 23.6 is approximately 24. What's half of 24? 12. You can see what's, you know, you can see what's happening. We're essentially, excuse me, it's so pungent, it's getting to my nose. Right, what I'm going to do now is, I'm doing this on purpose, by the way, is showing you how I can kind of come in on essentially an unknown sample. What I want to do now is take a 100 microliter sample of the 1 in 100 and do a further dilution. So let me just come in here, grab this 1 in 100. I realize I'm going to swap cameras again. Right, so now I'm going to do the 1 in 100. So let me take the sample here. So I've got 100 microliters of the 1 in 100. I'll put that 100 microliters into this little tube here. I'll throw away that pipette tip. And now what I'm going to do is realize I've quickly grabbing another pipette tip, and I'm going to put in 900 microliters. So effectively I'm now diluting by another factor of 10. So 1 in 100 just became 1 in 1000. It was about to become 1 in 1000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so that's done. I'll give it a quick vortex. I deliberately chose a sauce sample because I knew I could vortex it and prepare everything quite quickly. I'll just throw this off. I'll grab a fresh sensor, which I've now done. And I will just set up the app. So that was done. I'm going to do a test number 3. Go to assay 1 in 1000. Right, so I've chosen the 1 in 1000. Now I'm going to put on 50 microliters of this sample onto that sensor. So don't forget, I'm putting 50 microliters of 1 in 1000 dilution onto the sensor. So I'll take my sample, put it on, right, hit start measurement, and off it goes. Now one thing you will notice is how quick it is to actually run this system. So this evening I've kind of taken my unknown, but I knew it was hot, and the reason I've chosen it hot was deliberately to kind of show you that actually the app will guide you. You don't need to be looking at the raw data online. The raw data online though is nice because you can never be challenged, you know, scientifically or let's say technically about these results. And now it's come back with a Scoville Heat Unit of, and I'll hold up the, I'm going to hold up the camera, just trying to think how to do it. Yeah. It's come back with a Scoville Heat Unit of 63,886. So 63,886. And it says upload complete. So I will share my screen with you for a second. Let me just do that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit refresh, and a new one just jumped up, test number 3. And now I can see that, I can see my bump. Let's say, this I'm looking for, I'm basically looking at the capsaicin molecule, but I know I'm more familiar looking at raw data than others, let's say, but it's not that super hard once you get used to it. And you do never need to look at this, by the way. I'm only using this for education and guidance. You can see here the score, 6.3 times 10 to the 4, which is 63,000. And you can see that peak. There's that peak, see, and it's not at those super high levels anymore. Well, of course it's not, because I've done a 1 in 1,000 dilution. But you can see that actually you don't need to be guessing. The app will guide you. If you're unsure of something, start 1 in 10. It will tell you it's too concentrated. If it's too concentrated, it'll tell you to do more dilution. You do 1 in 100 like I did. Oh, you're still too concentrated. Okay, let's do 1 in 1,000. And then bang, we've got the result then. So I would say that I've made this video deliberately to support clients. But if you have any questions regarding FoodSense Generation 4, then I would say don't hesitate to reach out to us. I'll put a contact us underneath the video. Okay, thanks very much.